Welcome to the show. We have an eclectic mix of beards, fine china, very clever vacuum cleaners and another round of fisticuffs between the male and female sex. Yes, our in-house psychologist, Linda Papadopoulos, is standing by to adjudicate in our weekly Battle of the Sexes, telling us how to spot a lie and reveal who is supposed to be better at it, men or women. Have a guess, who's better at lying, men or women? Minim. Joining the battle, a woman who takes no prisoners, Sheila Reid, otherwise known as the Marvellous Madge from Benidorm. But she abandons her scooter to join me on stage a little bit later. I'm grooming his beard in preparation for my sofa. Sensational singer Alfie Boe. There's a great quote from Alfie I saw recently. He said, "The Alan Titchmarsh Show is so close to my heart. What a crawler." Very nice. Thank you, Alfie. Very good. On top of all that, we explore our long-running love of fine china, in particular Wedgwood. Antiques expert Eric Knowles explains the value of this 250-year-old collection and why it's under threat. Time now to welcome a man who grew up dreaming of becoming a singer. Since then, he's led the cast of Les Miserables, won a Tony Award for excellence, stolen the show at the Queen's Diamond Jubilee concert and received a standing ovation last weekend at Sunday night at the London Palladium. It's fair to say that childhood dream has come true. Please welcome Alfie Boe. You're very welcome. Lovely to see you. Welcome. Have a seat. Gosh, you looked a bit sort of taken aback by that. I mean, it was... There you were at the London Palladium. You've sung there before? Yeah,
I've sung there once before with the ensemble of Les Miserables, but never... been on that stage representing myself, and it was quite a moment, really. I loved it.
It was wonderful. It was. I was watching it. Your favourite act that particular evening?
The Towboys did fascinate me.
I was watching then. Now, if you didn't see something like London Palladium, honestly, to be honest, I was walking through the room and this came on, and I was completely glued. All right, watch these two. They made us laugh. It's all very innocent. They managed to get to the end and give them a round of applause. Because, of course, you're completely booked, aren't you? Just waiting for one of them to fall. Exactly. And you were you in the wings? Could you...
They asked me to do it, but no, I didn't.
Were they completely starkers?
Not a stitch on. Not a stitch.
Amazing.
Especially the last bit when he whips the towel away and he's just doubled over. And then somebody in the wings just throws a flannel on.
Yes. Shall we try and get them on here?
There you go.
Yeah, I thought you might quite like that. Oh, but back to you in this amazing roller coaster tour, new CD, all coming. It just seems to go on and on.
Well, it's been a lot of work. I've got a new CD coming out November 17th called Serenata. It's all romantic, beautiful romantic Italian folk songs, and then I'll be touring that repertoire as well as my Bring Him Home and the Les Mis stuff in November, starting late November through until December 14th, so I'll be on the road for a while.
Do you, presumably, Alfie, you have to structure in breathers, time to get... Well, not least to actually plan the material that you're going to use in future, but also just to get your breath back, literally, don't you?
Yeah, but lately... The time that I've put aside for that, I've just ended up learning more music and getting back into songs and designing the show. This tour that I've got coming up is a lot of work. I've got to think of the image of it. I want it to be so classy, very stylistic and beautiful, really, very romantic. Trying to transport my audience to a different era.
Well, you did that in a way with Mr. Selfridge.
Yeah.
Because there you... Good Lord, doesn't that singer look like Alfie Boe? And he's got a beard. Or actually, was that Mr. Selfridge? You know, the two of you there with your beards on, you and Jeremy Piven with his beard as well.
Yeah.
Now, that was a whole new ball game, wasn't it? Television acting. How did you take to it?
I loved that. That was a wonderful opportunity to show a different side of my performance. They've not asked me back, so it couldn't have been that good. But no, I would love to do some more TV work.
What did you... Because emoting and singing is quite big. Yeah. Was there when you're doing television acting, is it very much sort of smaller?
It is. It's, you know, you expect when you go to a theatre and you watch actors on stage, they're projecting, but in film, they really speak quietly because there's a microphone right there to pick them up. So trying to get your cue was quite hard. It was a leaning in to find out what they were saying so I could find my time.
Have they got to my bit yet? Yeah. I once remember talking to Alan Bennett way back when he was acting with Kenneth Branagh, who, you know, brilliant television actor, Kenneth, very small. And Alan kept, he said, I was just pulling faces. He said, because, you know, lots of the best television actors are very minute, because, of course, the camera really picks it up.
That took me by surprise. I was expecting it to be more of a bigger performance.
Declamatory.
But they really brought it way in, and I suppose it transfers onto television because you do focus quite a lot on that, you know, and it's amazing how they do it. Wonderful actors on that programme.
It seems that you're always raising the ar, always trying to just, could I do that? Could I have a go at that? Anything you wouldn't do?
The towel act.
but still, you would still have to stretch yourself acting-wise.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to do more acting. It's a big interest in mine since I started singing because being an opera singer as well, back in the day, I was working with a lot of theatre directors, opera directors that came from theatre backgrounds. So they were demanding quite a lot from their singers, and it is important in opera and in musical theatre to be able to act as well. So it's not just not enough to just stand and sing now. You know, you really have to sell the song and put the sentiment across. Well,
I was talking to somebody about the Watermill at Newbury, for instance. The actors all have to play 3 instruments as well. It seems that more demands are placed on actors nowadays. It's not sufficient, certainly for singers, to go out there. In the old days of opera singers, you know, great chunky men and women planting their feet 4 squares, singing the aria and then moving and walking over there. And it's not like that anymore.
No, I mean, you know, again, with theatre directors being involved in operas and productions like that, they do put a lot of, you know, you have to dance sometimes while you're singing, you have to be in all sorts of different positions or flying across from one side of the stage to another. It can be quite demanding, but, you know.
Well, Alfie's album's out on the 17th of November and you can catch him on tour from the 29th of November. After the break, we know Alfie Boe loves his beard. You're very fond of that, is it?
I've had it for a while, yeah.
Yeah, you have.
That's a good 6-7 years now.
What will you think of the facial furniture that adorns these 3 men? Find out. We're not going to show you. We'll find out when we play Boe's Beautiful Beards of Britain. Do you know, I feel like Jeremy Paxman on Newsnight sometimes. But for now, my thanks to Alfie Boe. Coming up, the time is nearly here for us to continue our quest to solve that age-old argument, which is the better sex, man or woman. And this week we'll be testing our ability to tell a lie. Apparently, men are better at it. I wouldn't know. I never lie. See you after this. According to the latest research, men make better liars than women and they lie more often. In a moment, Dr. Linda Papadopoulos will tell us why before we put the theory to practice with round 2 of Battle of the Sexes. But first, time to launch Alfie Boe's Beard Beauty Contest. Behind this screen, we have 3 proud beard-wearing men. We've scoured the country, secured the country as well. Scoured the country to find the most glamorous, well-groomed and, frankly, beautiful beards around. Isn't that right, gentlemen?
Yes!
Fine. All Alfie has to do is to review each beard as it comes out and then nominate his winner of Boe's Most Beautiful Beard of Britain. Let's meet... I can't believe I'm doing this. Let's meet beard number 1, worn by Geoffrey William Histed. Geoffrey. Oh! Now, how long have you had this beard?
Just 4 or 5 months, because I normally have a handlebar moustache, but
so
for about four months, I suppose.
Pretty impressive, then.
It's pretty lovely, man. Yeah, it's really good.
So it's
really good.
unusual for me.
Ever had any disasters with it?
At the dentist, I was having a crown done, and didn't have an anaesthetic, so the dentist was a bit nervous about it. Next minute, the drill wrapped around my beard. All the young nurses fell on the ground laughing, but me, I said, for God's sake, don't cut it. There'll only be a few bob now and again, so you've got to unwind it. So that was a little bit of a moment.
What do you reckon?
That's very impressive. Very
Yeah. Thank you very much in there. Over here, just stand over there. Thank you, Geoffrey. Beard number 2, won by Andrew Hawke. Andrew, come round here. Here you go. Now, Andrew, how would you describe your beard?
Untidy.
Untidy. How long have you had it?
Oh, over 35 years.
Does it catch food and things like that?
If you're careful, no, but you do have to check.
How often do you cut it?
Every couple of months or so, but I shave my neck.
How often do you cut yours?
Every week.
Every week, much more better. So
I don't want to get it caught in a dentist.
No, not now. So that's a bit of a more sort of slightly more
It's a bit sort of gnome-like.
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. And finally, glamorous beard number 3, worn by a man simply known as Coke. Coke, do come round. Here we are. Oh, he's going. No, it's all right. So this is... What would you describe yours as? What style?
Well, this is called the Rasputin.
Is it? I hope your morals aren't on a par with Rasputin's, but...
No, I'm just a bit mad like Rasputin.
Are you that? Does it sort of compensate for what's not up there? Is that the...
Yeah, it's called the reverse.
Stand on your head and people say, that's a very nice shave you've got. Would you ever contemplate, you know...
Probably not. No, I wouldn't really grow something like that. But I've been riding on my motorbike with people who have similar beards to that, so...
Really?
Not on my bike,
no,
separate bikes.
Quite. Would you care to stand over there, Coke? And the moment of truth has now come. Actually, you have got to choose the award for Boe's Beautiful Beard of Britain. It's very important, this. I don't want you to rush. Which one would you...
For sheer volume, and it's got to be beard number 1.
Beard number 1. Geoffrey, you won. Here's the trophy. You'll have to hand that over, Alfie. Here we are. Well done, Geoffrey. Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks very much. You know, the sad thing is there will be people who've missed this segment of the programme, and it's such a shame. Thanks to all our splendid beards, and to Alfie Boe. Thank you, Alfie. Thank you, beards. Now, last week we tested the commonly held belief that women are better multitaskers in the first of our battles of the sexes. Jill Halfpenny won and notched up the first point for womankind on our leaderboard. Today we're going to test the theory that men are better at lying. First, we need an explanation, so it's time to welcome back psychologist Dr. Linda Papadopoulos. Lovely to see you. So, an explanation then. Men are better at lying than women, right?
We think they are. Now, the really interesting thing about men and women lying is what they lie about. So, women tend to lie usually to save people's feelings, sort of altruistically. So, no, you look great, or no, that was a wonderful presentation. With guys, it's more self-serving. No, this is how much I make a year. This is how big my car is.
Oh, right, something to do with size. Right, so who's better? Who's better?
Well, this is the interesting thing. So even though they lie more or less the same, men are slightly better at lying. So when we detect men and women, men are better at putting the wool over our eyes.
How do you spot it, then? How do you spot a lie? 'Cause I wanna put you to the test.
I know,
what would you be looking for?
All right, a few things. Number one, when we lie, we tend to try and not move very much because it takes a lot of thinking. And if we do move, we cover the mouth or go behind the ear. Also,
we'll be looking for these now.
Also, when you lie, you tend to embellish. So if I said, Alan, where were you? You'd be like, you wouldn't just say I went to the store. You'd say, well, I went to the store to get some crisps, and then this dog came and it bit me, and then you kind of elaborate a lot. Embroider a lot.
Okay, well, time for today's highly scientific test. Even more scientific than the beard one. First, we need our contestants. We know he can carry a tune, but can he tell a lie? Alfie Boe! Sit down there. And representing the female brain, a woman who's used to lying by the hotel pool, but is she any good at lying to us? Sheila Reid! Now, you have truth and lie paddles. Here's the test. I will ask Alfie and Sheila a series of questions. Their answers may be lies, or they may be the truth. You at home, and our expert psychologist, Dr. Linda, here, have to work out which is which. The winner is the person who gets away with the most lies. Here we go. First up is Sheila. You have a truth or lie paddle, but I'll tell you, you don't need that for the moment, right? You need that later. Just answer these questions, right? Sheila, first one. Tell us what you're afraid of. What are you afraid of?
Being buried alive.
Being buried alive. What's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten?
I think it was possibly goat.
Goat, OK.
But I couldn't tell.
Goat. What's the most embarrassing thing you've done to get someone's attention?
Tripped on the red carpet. Oh. Because I wasn't getting enough attention.
Right. What music are you embarrassed to admit you listen to when you're alone?
Myself practicing to be a jazz singer in a television programme.
OK. Have you ever embarrassed yourself in public?
Yes. By introducing somebody at the start of a programme and forgetting their name.
We'll know that feeling. If you were stuck on a desert island, which one luxury item couldn't you live without?
Feather mattress.
Right. OK. Now, Linda, you've been watching how she answered those questions. Were there clues in there?
Well, there were. So there was a couple of times where Sheila kind of stalled and sort of looked away and thought of it. Now, sometimes that can be...
She can be doing exactly that.
Exactly thinking. Yeah. But when it's something that's visceral, when we've experienced it and it actually, you know what the worst thing was, the most embarrassing, you pick it up. The other thing that Sheila did was she touched her mouth and her neck at one point. So it'll be interesting to see if that was a liar.
Now then, I'm going to... You've got to put your paddle up first, which is there. So the first question, I said, tell us what you're afraid of. And you said...
I said being buried alive.
Right. Now, you tell us whether you think that was true or a lie.
I think that was the truth.
What was it? Oh, bang on there, right. OK, the second, what's the weirdest thing you've ever eaten? And you said goat.
I thought it was goat.
Goat. Now, is that true or false?
Well, this is a hard one. She said, I thought it was goats. That kind of, we tend to use qualifiers, especially women tend to do this when they lie. So I'm going to say...
And it was... Truth. Oh, right, OK. Right, we're going to do these quite briskly now. OK. Most embarrassing you've done to get someone's attention. You said trip on the red carpet. Lie.
Lie.
Oh, it was a lie. Right, OK. Music you're embarrassed to listen to when you're alone.
Myself, doing my things. Lie.
Lie. Oh, lie. Go on there. She got one over. Have you embarrassed yourself in public?
By forgetting to introduce somebody's name.
Lie.
Lie. No, truth.
Truth.
No,
it was true.
No,
you really have done that. Okay.
No,
and if you were stuck on a desert island...
Sorry, darling. Lie.
Okay.
Lie, right. So, luxury item, you wouldn't live without. I'm hoping somebody's keeping the score here, because I haven't a clue. Right. Desert island, luxury item, bed.
Feather mattress.
Yeah. Truth.
Lie.
Oh, right. Alfie, your turn. Alfie's turn. What's been your most embarrassing moment?
Falling off stage.
Falling off stage, OK. Who was your favourite TV presenter?
Alan Titchmarsh.
That's a lie. Why did I know he'd say that? What's your worst habit?
Picking my nose.
What annoys you most?
Alan
Titchmarsh. What annoys you most?
Hecklers.
Hecklers, right. What was your first job?
I was worked in a car factory, in a car MOT garage.
Right. If you were stuck on a desert island, one luxury you couldn't live without?
Slippers.
Slippers, right. OK. Any clues there, very briefly? Clues there?
He gave less away, I've got to say. He was kind of consistent throughout, so we'll focus on the content of what you said.
OK. Your most embarrassing moment?
I fell off stage.
True or false, Linda? Was that true or false?
I'm hoping it's false.
It's true.
Oh, no.
Favourite TV presenter? You said...
True!
Was it 20 quid we said? Yeah. Worst habit?
Picking my nose.
Oh, say it isn't so.
I'm
You're just...
sorry.
What annoys you most?
Hecklers, I said.
Yes, you did.
Should have said mobile phones, but hecklers, really. That's a lie.
It is like, it is mobile phones, right. What was your first job?
MOT garage. True.
Yep, true. You were stuck on a desert island. One luxury you couldn't live without was...
My slippers.
Slippers.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need them on a desert island, seriously.
Yeah, but you still need your
They're
slippers,
sad.
So how do we figure on that scoreboard? The winner, who managed to pull the wool over our eyes more than anybody else, twice, was Sheila. So she goes... There you are. She's up there. Thanks to Sheila, to Linda and to Alfie. This battle continues over the next few weeks, completely pointless though it is a laugh. And if you have any thoughts, theories and funny stories about your own experience in the Battle of the Sexes, do send them in via Twitter, Facebook or email. And to think, you used to think that sex was what posh people got their coal in. That's all, folks. Time's run out. We're back tomorrow with Warwick Davis and Celebrity Square's Simon Callow and the All Blacks of Opera, Sol 3 Mio. See you at 3. Bye-bye.
The incredible voice of Alfie Boe, performing with his orchestra this November and December across the UK, with very special guest Sol Mio, performing songs. Ticketmaster.co.uk